I want to start off this conversation with this question for you. Do we need to be on all of the social media platforms?
You're going to need to get your bleep ready. Is your bleep ready? So you can just bleep this out?
Oh my gosh, are you going to be swearing?
F no. No, 116 social media platforms that you need to know about in 2024.
It's Coffee Social, the podcast all about social media and business. And now, here are your hosts, Jonathan Howard and Mimi Langley.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Jonathan Howard.
Hello, Mimi Langley.
Do you think we scare people when we say it like that?
We probably scare people when we do lots of things.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so first of all, real quick before we jump into it, I'm freezing. I thought that the listeners should know that I'm very cold right now.
Yes. Well, it's freezing. It snowed here the other day.
Oh.
It snowed where I am. Yeah. Yeah, it's cold.
You are a true New Yorker. I'm just saying. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, real quick, Jonathan, show everyone that you're drinking coffee. Show the cup. Show the mug.
Do I have to show them the coffee? There's still...
Oh, that's very light. Mine's like, do you see how dark mine is?
That is, I'm like a café con leche type of person, which is like half and half.
Are you speaking French to me?
No, Spanish, but okay.
Sorry, everybody. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
So, real quick, what coffee are you drinking though? Like what kind of coffee?
Again, I'm drinking cold brew. I generally will not drink a hot coffee unless it's an espresso.
Okay, well, what if like a hot coffee company sponsored us? Would that change your mind?
Maybe if they were good. If they were awful, no. This is Khalifa. This is Khalifa cold brew, and it's very, very good. The other thing that I have to be aware of is if it's a coffee that has salt in it, because you'd be amazed at how many coffees have salt in them.
We'd be amazed at how many coffees have a lot of things in them, you guys. My coffee of choice today is Tim Hortons, which is Canadian. Shout out to the Canadian viewers.
Canadian viewers, eh?
Eh? I can't even do that because I already butchered like the language earlier. So I have to be on my best behavior. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Jonathan, today we're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about social media. I know, your favorite thing. And, you know, I talk about social audio. Like that's what I teach women in business. I teach them about social audio, which is like LinkedIn audio, Clubhouse, X Spaces. But you, my friend, and social audio is social media, but you are like deep into the social media platforms that we know and love, like Instagram.
Like Instagram, like Facebook, like all, yeah. Yes. But
okay.
I do specialize in Instagram and short form video on Instagram. So.
Yes, you do. Listen, I want to start off this conversation with this question for you. And that is, you know, we have our business or we're thinking about starting a business, whether it's full-time or a side hustle. Do we need to be on all of the social media platforms?
You're going to need to get your bleep ready. Is your bleep ready? So you can just bleep this out?
Oh my gosh, are you going to be swearing?
F no. No, 116 social media platforms that you need to know about in 2024. That means those are the top ones. There are a lot of other ones out there. A lot of other ones.
Do you see my shocked face?
On all the platforms. Yeah, shocked face. Yeah.
Okay. So for me, Jonathan, I was thinking, okay, so we have, like, let's name some of the main ones, right? We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, or now X. You know, we have LinkedIn. What are some other social media platforms?
Clubhouse.
Well, Clubhouse, yes.
Is a social media platform. MeWe is one that's used a lot. WeChat. All of those things. TikTok.
Oh, yes,
goes
TikTok.
On and on. And all the messaging apps that are attached to those apps, Instagram or Facebook Messenger is its own app. Its
Threads.
own social media. Threads. Yep. And it goes on
there's
and
a
on.
lot. And then if you want to tackle YouTube and Pinterest, which are both like search engines, you got that to think about. Gosh, that's a lot. Okay, so you're telling me I don't need to be on all of the platforms.
You don't need to be on all the platforms. You don't. Now, there's this idea, and it's an idea that comes from a lot of the bigger businesses, that you need to be omnipresent. And by omnipresent, it means that you need to be visible on all the platforms in all the ways that your audience will contact you. But if you are a small business, omnipresence is pretty much a, straight up ticket to fail. I hate to say it, but you're going to get burnt out. You're going to not feel like doing these things. It's going to be a lot. Omnipresence is creating content on every platform specific for that platform and making sure that you can be reached on mobile, on desktop, and however else your audience wants to reach you. If you've got a brick and mortar, from all of those different platforms. That's omnipresence. That's a lot. It can't happen for a small business, in my opinion.
Like for you, Jonathan, like when you were just talking, like I was just already feeling overwhelmed just by feeling like, oh my gosh, like I have a hard enough time, showing up on Instagram or showing up here or there. And like, you're telling me like, I need more time. Like I need to do everything else, or like, that's what they're telling us anyways. People, in the industry who are like, you need to be everywhere. Here's the thing though, guys. And I feel like this is not talked about enough. This includes like our favorite YouTubers. A lot of these people have teams. Gary V, love him to death. Please be on the podcast, Gary. But he has a team, and that's not how it was in the early days, right? For him, he had to build, but now he has a team. So he's everywhere. Right, Jonathan?
Yeah, he has a team. He's everywhere. He has people that are he is living his life. And that is a great thing that it's a great thing that he's brought to the space is you document, you don't create. That is an amazing thing that he's brought to the space because he's living his life and people are following him around while he's living his life. It's something that we can take into our business, but still somebody needs to take that and repurpose it for all the platforms. And that still takes work.
It does. I mean, 1000%. Now, listen, maybe it's just you and you want to be on all of the platforms. Go ahead and be on all the platforms. Try it out. Test it out for yourself. But I do truly believe in what Jonathan is saying. You can be the best time management. You can be the best at time management. Maybe that's your superpower. But it can be a lot because you're not only handling business, you're also handling life. So there's a lot, right? Let's talk about when we're thinking about, choosing a platform, showing up on a platform, like what would be a tip for somebody? Because I have written down here, for me anyways, the way I like to kind of pick where I want to be is like where I can be consistent on is number one, what kind of content are they requiring of me? Right. So for example, when I became a mom, I was doing YouTube and then it kind of just mom life took over and I just wasn't in that season of life where I wanted to do video content. And there we go. Social audio came about, Clubhouse came about. And it was something so easy for me to show up consistently on, Jonathan, because literally I just had to pull out my phone and start talking and growing my business that way. So what about you? Like, what would you say to that? Like, do you agree somewhere you can show up consistently?
I think it's really important that you pick someplace that you show up consistently because that consistency is what's going to get you to the next level. I always say everything you want is on the other side of consistency. So if you want your business to be successful, if that's what you want, you have to be consistent at creating content on the platforms where you're attracting your business. So, and it can be, I think your first tip was that it should be a platform you like.
Yeah, 1000%.
Because you're going to have to stay consistent there. So that is really important. The other thing that I would say is you also need to make sure if you're going with two platforms, and that's what I recommend you start with. But the other platform should be a place that you absolutely know your audience is. And with 2 odd billion people on a lot of these platforms, your audience is everywhere. But yeah, you should have a place where they're active. If you're looking for moms that want to spend money, go to Pinterest. It's not social media, but it's close enough.
The Pinterest experts are already commenting in the section right now saying, no, we are not social media. But I love that, Jonathan. And honestly, we are a search engine. Anyways, shout out to all the Pinterest experts. We love you guys. I love that you mentioned, do you enjoy making content here on this platform? Because for me, it's always worked out. If I'm enjoying myself on the platform, if I'm a user of the platform, if I'm enjoying making the content that it's asking me to make, then I'm going to show up all the time, right? Like I'm going to ride that wave. So I love that. Think about where do you get excited? Where do you show up as a user? That's a great place to start. If you're a fan of the platform, chances are you'll be amazing at content creating.
Yeah. And you have to be willing to create content. It takes time, it takes effort, but you can absolutely do it. It's why I tell people when they're doing like my Reels training, you should have fun doing this. Like this should be fun for you. If it's not fun, you still haven't taken the Target tag off of that mug. If it's not fun for you.
Wait, pause for the YouTube watchers. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I was literally about to spill it on myself. Hold on. Mm-hmm. That's from Target, baby. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, I lost my train of thought.
Well, the other thing too is not just like loving where you are, right? Like being a fan of the platform. But the other thing is like, am I going to get a return on my time here? And sometimes that takes time to figure out if you are. But one thing I love is when you can choose a platform where you get a piece of content that you can repurpose all over your business, right? Like I think about Clubhouse. Like my mind immediately goes with the Clubhouse because I'm involved in social audio. And I think about the fact that on Clubhouse, at least, I can do a room, like it's a live room, just like what we're doing right now, on podcasts, recording it. I can record it. And then I can download that audio and I can repurpose it all over the place. So I'm saving time is what I'm trying to say. It's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Repurposing is an amazing, amazing thing. I just want people to know that it's not zero time, because a lot of times people are like, I have to, you have to repurpose it onto the other platforms. You have to optimize it so it works for the other platforms and do those things. And that takes a little bit of time. It's not no time, which is why I recommend you start really slow and do it on 2 platforms, because I can show you quickly how to go and make an Instagram post, a Facebook post, and post it 10 days later so that your audience doesn't remember you posted it 10 days ago. Like different things like that. Tricks like that will help you all day long. But knowing how to do that takes time and practice. So start slow.
Ooh. Because you never hear people say that. You never hear people say start slow. So
it's got to be, you have to be able to maintain it. That's always been my thought. I'm always a long-term person.
I love that. I really, truly love to hear that because, again, we don't hear that very often. So, Jonathan, kudos to you. I feel like a lot of people that were listening in or watching on YouTube, they were like, we can breathe.
Yeah. It'll be easier now. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I want to talk real quickly because I know we're going to be wrapping up the episode soon. But what about claiming the real estate? Like, so I'm not ready to do Facebook or have a Facebook group or whatever. What do you think about claiming the real estate on all of these platforms?
Claim your name on all the platforms. And if a new platform comes out and you can claim your name on it, claim your name on it. Claim your name on it. You'll never know if you're going to want it or if somebody's going to want to buy it from you because they want it. So claim your name.
I love that.
Because if people are getting a trademark, they need to own it, and they might buy it from you.
Well, that's very true. It's like domains. There's a whole market, just in case you guys need another business idea. There's a whole market of people selling domains, like buying domains and selling it. Real quick, I know I said we were going to wrap up, but I just want to back up just a second. We were talking about repurposing, and it literally just came to my mind when we were talking about claiming real estate. But even when we are choosing 1 or 2 or 3 platforms to show up on, and we're thinking about, okay, how can I repurpose this content? Where else can I put it? Like, don't forget about your email list, or your website, right? You can turn a lot of content into blog posts. Have you done that before, Jonathan?
Yeah, I've turned a lot of content into blog posts, and I turn blog posts into content all the time because I've got content there. I believe on Clubhouse we did an episode or a room with in the repurposing room where we took a blog post that I had and broke it down into 100 pieces of content. And it, yeah. So you have a lot of content already. If you've got blog posts, you have a lot of content that you can use on social, and vice versa. You can always go the other way.
I love that so much. I want to do a whole episode on content creation. I think that that's going to be amazing for our listeners to listen in on. So let us know if you want to hear that. Put that in the comment
let us know if you
section.
want to hear that, or you could take my $9,000 course on that, because my big course.
Do you see my Walmart banner background? You had a $9,000 course.
It wasn't $9,000. It was $900. I was joking, but
gosh. Okay. Well, we hope that this episode inspired you to slow down a little bit. You don't have to be everywhere. Okay. Choose a platform or platforms that you really enjoy being on as a user. And where are you right now in life? Like, what content creation can you handle? Is that platform a place that I can make content on right now in my life and my business? I'm so sad, Jonathan, that we're out of time now, because this is a conversation that we should keep having. I'm sure we'll have future episodes dedicated to choosing, a social media platform. But we'll go ahead and wrap up, because we do want to make these episodes digestible. We do encourage you, though, wherever you listen to podcasts, to check out the podcast pages. I totally stole Jonathan's line. Jonathan, do you want to do it? Take it away.
Nope. You can do it. You got it.
Ooh, I feel honored. Okay. Yeah. Wherever you choose to listen to podcasts, definitely check out other episodes that we have on our podcast pages. And I'm excited because this season 1, we're talking about networking virtually. We're talking about growing your YouTube subscribers. I mean, there's so much packed into this, being confident on camera. So we definitely recommend checking out the page and to see what else we have on there for you, as well as YouTube. We're on YouTube, right, Jonathan?
We are on YouTube, so you can subscribe and follow on our YouTube channel. All this information will be down in the description of the podcast. And next episode is actually confidence on camera.
I'm so excited to talk about this.
I know. We have an argument.
You guys, real quick though, if you are on the podcast page, make sure you give us how many stars, Jonathan?
5, because Mimi likes stars.
I love
more
stars.
the better.
All right, you guys, we will leave you with this question to think about. We always like to end the podcast with the most important question of them all. And that is,
always,
are you team Mimi or
team Jonathan, which is the obvious answer?
No. Come on, guys. I'm sharing my coffee with you. Cheers.
Ew. Who wants backwash?
Bye.